You're listening to the Australian Water Association podcast series. My name is Jo Taranto and joining me is Mark Vaughan. Mark is the Water Partnership Manager at Logan City Council, and we're discussing Cedar Grove Environmental Centre, one of Australia's most sustainable wastewater treatment plants. Welcome, Mark.
Hi, Jo.
Water Partnership Manager, what's your role involve?
Okay, so at Logan, we deliver our capital works in a partnership. We've got 4 partners to that setup. So it is Logan City Council, Downer Utilities, WSP, and Cardno. So my role is to manage that partnership and deliver the capital works for Logan City Council.
And capital works have been coming along hard and fast for Logan. Tell us about the growth that's happening for Logan City in all areas of the community.
Yeah, very true, Jo, very true. So we've got a number of growth fronts, and a lot of them are actually driven by the state government, Queensland state government priority development areas. So there's one around Yarrabilba and there's one around the Greater Flagstone. So they're 2 very big growth fronts for Logan. Out at Greater Flagstone, which is serviced by the Cedar Grove Environmental Centre, there's about 160,000 people are going to move there ultimately. At the moment, we're less than 5,000. So we've got a very big growth front, and we've got to put in the infrastructure needed to service that community.
Some of the challenges in facing that growth for you as a council and utility providers as well, what do they look like?
Well, out at Greater Flagstone, there is only a very small temporary treatment plant at the moment. So we need to build some long-term trunk infrastructure out there. So we needed to come up with a wastewater solution for that priority development area. So the solution we came up with was a wastewater treatment plant at Cedar Grove, and we were going to treat the water, then once it's met its environmental conditions, discharge to the Logan River.
And Cedar Grove Environmental Centre is more than just a wastewater treatment plant, it seems.
Oh, very much so. Well, what we've managed to do there, the licence conditions that we've got for this plant are some of the strictest. We believe they're actually the strictest in Queensland. So the licence conditions that we have are no net nutrient increase to the river. And we've actually got an offset for every 1 kilogram of nutrients we release. We've actually got an offset by 1.5 kilos. So we've actually done a lot of things to meet this licence condition. So we've got on the site there's an advanced membrane bioreactor plant, and then after we've got that plant, then we've got constructed wetlands to actually then try and strip the nitrogen from the water. And as the third part of the plant is a nutrient offset project. So upstream of the plant, there's some unstable riverbanks, and we're using riverbank stabilisation there to make sure that all that nutrient-laden sediment is actually captured and doesn't get dislodged in flood events.
And how important has been involving the community in the design and the development of this new centre as well?
Yeah, well, that's actually been a big change for us. So our original plan when we went out, we thought that we were going to build a treatment plant, and that was going to be the main feature on the site. When we actually announced to the community that we were going to have a treatment plant down at Cedar Grove, well, even though we'd had the land holding for a fair while and it would have been earmarked as a wastewater treatment plant, there was a fairly strong negative community reaction there. So what we did at that stage was form a community reference group and started to work through with those guys how to best utilise the land. When we worked through it, we've got a large site, and only 5% of it was going to be actually what you would consider the traditional steel and concrete structures for a treatment plant. The other 95% of it was either the treatment wetlands that we're putting in, as I said before, to strip the nitrogen, or it was really just land designated as buffer land. Most of it was flood prone, but there was definitely a community use for that land.
And what were some of the interests in the use of that land? What were some of the things that came out of the reference group?
Well, straight away, what the reference group told us was that their ambition for the site was to have an environmental focus. So we surveyed the members of the group, and the most strong feedback that we got was that they wanted access to the land for community benefit, and they also wanted it to be an environmental focus.
In terms of community access, what will be at the Environmental Centre for community to use?
Yeah, well, through the development of the project, we've identified some partners that we're going to work with. So on the site, we're going to partner with the Cedar Grove Landcare Group. They're going to be situated. Their headquarters will be right near our treatment plant. We're going to open up the access road, have a car park there, and then from that car park, we're going to install some walking tracks that will allow our residents to access the Logan River in an area that they haven't been before. The area of the Logan River is behind the Warralong Weir, so it's actually a beautiful spot that before we joined with the community reference group, our intent had been we were going to continue to graze this area and just use it as bufferland. But I suppose what has come through working with the community is the desire for them to have access to the area, and then what the end result is going to be is opening up a beautiful part of the Logan for all the residents to use.
I understand there's even a men's shed on the site.
Yeah, the men's shed's not on the site, but we've been partnering with
Okay.
the Logan Village men's shed, and those guys have when we cleared for the wetlands, the men's shed took some of there were a number of significant but dead trees already on the site, so we felled those trees and actually gave the wood to the men's shed. And what they've managed to do is they've taken that wood, stripped it back, and they've returned it to us as these magnificent picnic tables that we're going to be able to dot around the area and be part of the community use area.
Fantastic. And the plant, when will it be fully operational?
Well, we're recording this in late May. It's about 2 weeks today till the plant's operational. So we're very excited. We're in the final stages of pre-commissioning.
There's obviously a lot of potential impacts and benefits from a site like this. Can you tell us about some?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, we've got what we believe to be the strictest licence in Queensland. So what we want to be able to show from this plant is one that with the combination of modern technology treatment, then constructed wetlands and a nutrient office project, firstly, we can actually meet this super tough licence. But then we think that there's lots of other benefits that we're going to get from the site, and measuring how much the community comes out to the site, I think is a measure of how well the community acceptance of what we're now calling the Cedar Grove Environmental Centre is. Additionally, we're going to be researching the effectiveness of wetlands for stripping nitrogen from the treated effluent. There have been some very successful plants at doing this, and we're trying to bring some certainty to some of the assumptions around the effectiveness of the wetlands for actually taking the nutrients out. We know that they can do it, but there is a lot of assumptions in the effectiveness, and what that's going to lead for us is actually sizing our future plants. If we can get more out of the wetlands and more efficiency out of the wetlands, then our future stages can be smaller, obviously.
You've learned a lot along the way throughout this experience. What are some of the things that Logan Water Partnerships realised embarking on a process like this?
Look, the main thing that I've taken out of this project is that the benefits there are in involving the community early and really taking their feedback on. Through this project, we've managed to now, I've touched on our partnerships with the men's shed and the Landcare facility, but we've also got partnerships with like Belong, a trainee group that's in the local area, and we're using those guys. They're using our site and we're using them. They're getting their certifications in land management through doing work on our site. So it's another win-win partnership for both us and Belong. We've now got a great relationship with the traditional owners of the site. We've done some work with both Yuggera Paul and Dunga Balan. Through the project, both of those groups had ownership over some of the land. So we've worked with them and got cultural heritage management plans with both parties. And even internally with council. Council has another area that is actually responsible for looking after offset planting. So now on the site, we've actually got around 37,000 trees have been planted on the site, which is council's is using the site as one of its offset projects for when a developer clears and pays to do that clearing, then council can consolidate that money and look for large offset sites, and this is going to be one of them. So put all that together, and we've actually ended up with a fantastic site down there that I think is a great benefit for the community.
How's a project like this funded, Mark?
Yeah, so we're working with Economic Development Queensland, or EDQ, on this project. So EDQ and council have a infrastructure agreement, and we're required to provide all the sub-regional infrastructure for the Greater Flagstone Priority Development Area. In turn, EDQ collect developer charges off the local developers, and that's how the whole project's funded.
It sounds like it's going to be a busy couple of weeks for you, Mark. I've been speaking with Mark Vaughan, Water Partnership Manager at Logan City Council. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Jo, and thanks for the opportunity to talk about the project.